My name's Jeff St Laurent, and this is the Tuesday Live show coming at you each and every week for all my selling coaching fans as I help coaches transition to a full-time business. Before I get going on today's topic, which is the 3 vital elements that must be present before you offer a complimentary session, and I'll get into that today. I want to let you know that I have record all of these Tuesday Live shows, and I put them in my university on my website, sellingcoaching.com. And so there are a lot of great resources there. The first one I want you to check out is right on my homepage at sellingcoaching.com, and that is the 3 vital steps for launching your full-time coaching business. I was getting confused saying that with my topic today, the 3 vital elements. But right on the homepage at sellingcoaching.com, you can enter your name and email. You'll get instant access to that audio training program, the first 3 vital steps to launching your full-time coaching business. And that's also going to put you into my email community. And that's a great place to be because not only do you get weekly emails around some great content around helping you transition to full-time, but also put you in my email community so you can start to understand how we use that as a major piece of our business. Now, the topic today, which is the 3 vital elements that must be present in order for you to offer a complimentary coaching session. People call them discovery calls, whatever it is, but anytime you're going to be offering someone to spend, let's say, 30 minutes or an hour with you for a free coaching session, we want to make sure there are 3 elements that we qualify them with before we offer them to this. Because here's my philosophy with these complimentary sessions or these free sessions that we're giving out is this is our coaching. We're giving away free coaching for them to try out or to experience what it feels like if they were to hire us. This is the philosophy that I want to impart with you. And then we'll get into the 3 vital elements, right? So in other words, this session that I'm going to gift to you, in other words, I'm giving it to you because you're interested in doing something with your life that you're presently stuck with that you might need some help with. And I'm willing to say like, hey, you know what? I'll give you this session so you can get a feel and experience what this coaching is like. And should you feel that it's fantastic and there's tremendous value there, well, then let's talk about the details of how you can actually hire me. But we've got to set those expectations up. So what's happening now in the coaching world is people are just giving out complimentary sessions like business cards. like what else? Like you go to one of those wholesale clubs or the supermarket and they got the free samples and they're giving out chips or they're giving out little, wieners and they're like, oh, have some. And, unless they're, extraordinary, you're like, oh my God, these are so good. I have to buy some. People are just like, yeah, let me have some because I just want to eat something, right? It's like, or here, take my business card. And it's like, you're just giving it out like it's nothing. And you're booking these sessions. And the problem with that is it's like, well, why are you giving them out? What's your qualification process? Like, that's not right because you're not qualifying them at all. And then what happens on the other end is we get excited because you're like, oh, I got 5 complimentary sessions set up today or this week. Or, and you're thinking like, oh, I got all this potential business. I'm going to get these clients this week. And the fact is you're not. You actually don't have, how do you know if they actually are a potential client or not? You've had minimal to no conversation. And sometimes they're like, oh no, I talked to them and they're going through whatever and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, yeah, they're definitely struggling. So I offer them a complimentary session. It's okay. Well, what else happened besides that? Other than them telling you like they're having a hard time with something and you're saying, well, you know what? Let me offer you a complimentary coaching session. You haven't set the framework up for that. So what happens is we get falsely excited about potential business. We don't even really know if it's potential business or not because we haven't qualified them. We haven't understood these 3 vital elements that I'm going to teach you today. And number 2, what happens is we've got our day planned out and we've got 1 or 2 calls or whatever it is today. And guess what? No one shows up. And you're like, oh, they didn't show up. And then you email them, hey, you didn't show up today. Or maybe you're just like, don't email them at all because you don't know what to say to them. Or they email you and they reschedule like, hey, you know what? I can't reschedule today because I got something stuck in my nose, like some lame excuse, like it's nice outside and I'm going to go to the beach. Like, and they'll tell you like, hey, it's such a nice day out today and my kids got the day off or it's summertime, so we're going to head to the beach. Those, some lame excuses like that where people actually don't just blow you off and they actually tell you what their lame excuse is a perfect telltale sign that they're not serious about doing something with you or serious about what they're going for in their life. Because if they were really serious, and once you learn these vital elements that they need to have before you offer a complimentary session, once you understand that, if they were really serious about doing something with X, about X in their life, and they needed to do something about it now, and they seriously needed some help, and they had a call scheduled with you, like they would revert their whole day if they were genuinely thinking or feeling like you could actually help them, because it's that important for them. And they'd be like, you know what, family, screw you. I'm talking to this person. I'm being exaggerating here, but like I'm going to protect that. Or at least I'd say, hey, listen, I really, really want to talk to you, but it's like my day off and blah, blah, blah. My kids at the beach day, blah, blah. And I hate to do this, but I really want to have time with them, but I really want to talk to you. Is there any way we could go earlier today? Or is there any way we could push this back till tomorrow? Or like you'd at least get something like that. And they'd be like, oh my God, I so want to do this with you, but I just have to reschedule. Like, can we please just change this? It's a different approach versus if they're just coming at you being like, hey, it's a beach day. I just need to reschedule. And they're very casual about it and just like, and you're sitting here going like, what? Well, that's a telltale sign that you've missed something and you didn't take the time to qualify them, right? And so one of my biggest motivations for you understanding this is not even so much that's going to help you get more business and get you paid as a coach. That's really not even my main motivation, even though that's a huge piece of this whole thing. My main motivation is to help prevent these emotional highs and lows where you're falsely getting excited about absolutely nothing because you have 2 calls today, complimentary sessions with these people that aren't even qualified. And can that turn into business? Yeah, of course it can, right? But what it is that effect of like, it's the approach that some people take where I'm just going to give out these 15-minute blah, 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 and I'm going to do all these, or these 30-minute, I'm going to give away as many free sessions as possible. And yeah, if you give away enough stuff, like, yeah, at some point someone's going to buy, right? But I'd rather have, if you're giving away, 5 a week with a modest number, never mind, some people are doing double that or more that, right? But if you're giving away 5 a week, that's 5 hours a week. Let's call that in a full week. That's 20 hours a month. I'd rather have you do 2 hours a month and get 2 clients out of it than do 20 hours for the month and get 2 clients from it. That's so much wasted time because there's a smaller portion of that 20 hours, call it a couple more hours, 3 more hours that you're taking. Yes, because you're going to take some time to qualify these people before you offer the complimentary session. But it's still going to be a fraction less time that you're spending, number one, not only of your time and other people's time. It's going to be a fraction of a less ups and downs because when someone doesn't qualify and you don't give a complimentary session, it's good. At least you understand that. You didn't invest so much energy and time and effort into this person who wasn't really ever there in the first place, and your results, maybe they're going to be the same. I would say they're even better because you had 2 sessions and you closed them and you got paid for it versus having 20 and then you have 20 sessions and only two people hire you. It's like you're getting beaten down all the time. Like you're getting so many no's or and these stupid objections, which shouldn't be coming in the first place because they're not real. They're just, you didn't set it up in the first place. So let's get into these three vital elements because you're like, Jeff, tell me about these elements. But all those other stuff that I just talked about there is vitally important to understand why. I'm a big why guy. I don't want to just say, get this, this, and this. All right, we need to understand why this is so important if we're going to really buy into this and do this long term. Right? And it's not going to be just another, bright light, shiny object strategy that you're going to like, oh, well, Jeff said, and then so-and-so said, and so-and-so said. And then when it doesn't work the first time or you're not good at it yet, and then you listen to somebody else and they say something different, you kind of bounce over to here. It's like your mosquito going to the bright light and getting zapped like all the time. Like you got to get better at this. This is like a strategy that you've got to get better at because it works. That's what I do. That's what I teach with my mentor coaching clients, right? So let's talk about the 3 vital elements. I'll give them to you, then we'll explain a little bit about them. So if you're a student of mine, you've probably heard this at different times. You should know this. And even if you've heard these things, we got to understand the why behind them. So first is going to be need. Second is going to be timing. And the third vital element is, are they considering or open to actually hiring you to help them with the need that they talk about? Like, those are the three vital elements. If you don't understand any of these three, and all of these three, all of which are the most important, however, the latter two, meaning the timing of the need and the actual, are they open to, or are they considering, hiring you, those are the most important. Number one of them all being timing, if I had to rank them. So let's take a look at this, the need. So do they have a need that they want, that they're going after in their life, that they want so badly that they'd kill for it, right? That they'd give up something valuable for it, that they'd lose their left arm for it, that they would go through or work through anything for it. Why am I being so dramatic? Because it's fun, number one. No, but number one is, I'm being so dramatic because what that means is they value achieving this or having this in their life. When they value it greatly enough, value equates to them paying for something if they believe that something's going to actually help them get it, right? This is important. Is there enough value for this person to pay you thousands of dollars for them to hire you as their coach? This is all setting up the framework for that, right? So do they have a need? Now, everyone has a need, right? I want to lose some weight. I want to be healthier. I want to make more money. I want to spend more time with so-and-so. I want this in my life. I don't want this in my life. I want, you fill in the blank. Everyone has wants and needs at any given moment in their life, right? So we got to find that out in something that's big enough for them. That's the need piece. If you don't, I would imagine you'd at least know that before you'd offer it in the past, right? So, okay, maybe you get a little check mark there, but tell me a little bit more about that. Why is this so important to you? The need. So now we found out that need. Now we want to get into, like I said, I rank this as the most important piece of these three vital elements, and that's the timing. Why now? I know you want to go after X. What makes today different than every other day in the past that you've been wanting this? Because the reality is, and depending on who you're helping with what specifically, most people have been wanting this for a long time, months, probably years, if not decades, depending on what it is, or to change a situation, or to you fill in the blank, and you've probably found that out. If not, this is where you find that out. Well, how long have you been wanting to do this for? Oh my God, since forever. Or maybe it's, oh my God, the last few months, or whatever, the last couple of years, So what makes today different than the last few years? Why is now the right time for you to go after this, for you to pursue this? And what you've got to do now is you've actually got to be a coach, and you've got to listen to why that's so important to them, but why now? And you've got to listen to that, and you say, why is this so important? What makes today different than any other day in the past 2 years? And their answers to that should be immediate, without hesitation, without pause. Oh my God, because I'm just so sick and tired, and I've been wanting this, blah, blah, blah. And it's just what? Or maybe they're just saying I don't know if the right time is, but I don't know that if there'll ever be a right time, because it just seems like everything keeps coming up, but this never keeps changing. Either way, there's something that they're immediate with. The other end of that is I don't know. It's just I just got to do something about it. Anyone that's being casual about something, that's hesitant, that's pausing, that's using these lack of confidence words of well, maybe, I think, possibly, I guess, I don't know, they're non-committal words. They're not absolutely unequivocally, yes, 100%, I'm all in. The energy, the tone around those words as well. That's what we're listening for. Anything, and it doesn't mean they've got to be over the top about it, because not everyone's like that, right? But any hesitant, non-committal type words, yes, maybe, that type of energy and tone. When I ask the timing question, I'm clarifying. And that's what we do as a coach. I'm just saying just help me to understand a little bit more. I know you want to go after X. It sounds like you really want it. I asked why now, and I guess I'm not quite getting a very, decisive and, I guess decisive answer. Tell me a little bit more about that, because, if now's not the right timing, that's okay. We don't have to continue this conversation. And if you start to take it away from them, if you notice I'm starting to take it away, they should be like, no, it is the right time. And I'm like, well, tell me a little bit more why. And then they should, go into that space. But I've started to take it away from people that were non-committal, indecisive. And they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't know. And it's, I guess right now, I really do want it. But right now, I've got this going on, or I just got this new job, or we just had triplets, or, my house just burned down, or, some reason. In other words, they start to tell you why the timing's not right at this point. And it doesn't mean that because the timing's not right, it doesn't mean that someone's not committed to something or something that they're going after. It doesn't make them bad, and this is where some salespeople, they try and they make you feel bad that if you're not willing to spend thousands of dollars, or you're not willing to do something about it right now, that you're a bad person, or there's something wrong with you, or you mustn't want it if, just because, this is going, just because, your house blew up. Well, if you wanted it bad enough, then you'd find a way to do it. It's just like, that's just pressure crap salespeople that don't know anything. How's that? Like me being like, ugh. Like that's just people like making someone feel bad. Like it's possible for the timing not to be right to do something in your life, even though it's very important. You could be, 1,000 pounds overweight, and it might not be the right time for you to start eating and dieting, because whatever's going on in life, and you might say, oh, well, you mustn't be very committed to it or want it bad enough, because if you did, then no, sometimes it's not the right timing. And we've got to be empathetic and understanding of that, because we're people. We're talking to people. And maybe it's not superficially, maybe they're saying something that's not quite making sense. Like, well, because it's raining outside, and I'm joking around a little bit. In other words, it's not like my house just blew up, or I just lost my job, or I'm going through a divorce, or just had triplets type of, those are real reasons why maybe the timing's not going to be right? There's something major going on in their life. Maybe they're giving you some less of a reason that as a coach, you're listening to it where you're like, okay, I'll give you that, but maybe you're not quite buying it, And so it might be something different that they're not willing to talk around a little bit. Maybe they're really just scared and they just don't know. And they're just so nervous about it, or it's just like it's so overwhelming for them. And like, this is what I found is more the case, is like, oh my God, talking to someone like you, even though I don't really know what you do even just right now yet, but just talking about it brings up anxiety for me, or I get, scared. Like, oh my God, if I actually hire you or do something with you, that means I'm going to actually have to confront this thing, this beast. Ugh. And that just kills me. So I'm kind of just making up some things and hesitating and pausing around it. That's the coaching. That's where we got to find out a little bit more about this. But this can, I call this a qualifying process, where we find out these 3 vital elements. And I'm spending some good time on the timing piece, because we got to flush this stuff out. And this doesn't have to take long. I spend 10, 15 minutes on the phone with someone, flushing this out. And then if there's any clarification or hesitation or pause, and I clarify a little bit more, tell me a little bit more. I don't know, I'm hearing this, but I don't quite understand it, or I'm just making sure. It sounds like there's hesitating energy around that. I don't necessarily say that, but it doesn't sound like you're necessarily committing to it right now. So tell me a little bit more about that, or help me to understand. This doesn't take days to figure out. Do I spend more than 10, 15 minutes with someone sometimes? Absolutely. Maybe it's 30 minutes. I've spent more time with someone, but I'd rather spend more time with someone right now and get to that spot where they're like, you know what, the need is absolutely there. The timing is, the timing is absolutely there. And of course, that third element, which I'm going to get to in a second, but I'd rather spend a little bit more time with them now, then offer them a full-blown hour complementary mentor coaching session, right? And I know I've got someone who we're on the same page. I understand them. They really want it. And we set the right and proper expectations up. Again, much more likelihood that they're going to move forward and hire you. And you've already taken the time, and you've already role modeled some coaching through this process to begin with. So you're already starting to build value and showing that you care, which is a huge component to why someone's going to hire you in the first place. So these are some of the places where I want you to start to understand. We've got to understand that need, and we've got to understand the timing of that need. Now, that third element that I'm going to wrap this show up with is, are they open to hiring you as their coach? Or are they open at taking a closer look at how you could help them if they were to hire you. In other words, maybe they've come to you and they've said, maybe after an event or they're watching something, hey, tell me more about your coaching. I think I need to hire you. Tell me how much it costs. I think that, I don't know what the coaching is, but I think I might want to work with you, right? They've come to you with something like that. And in that case, when you get to this point, I want to find out a little bit more. It sounds like you're considering hiring me as your coach. You can say, well, why is now the right time for you to potentially move forward with something like that? Or why are you considering hiring someone like myself to help you with this? In other words, you're essentially saying, where's the value in that for you? You're trying to find that out, right? If they haven't come to you and saying, I want to talk to you about coaching. Tell me about your coaching. How much does it cost? Any of that stuff that I just said there. And you're talking to them through just random conversation. Maybe it just came up at a networking event or through a reaction of something you put online or whatever it is. You can clarify, this is more of an approach. You can say, hey, listen, it sounds like you want X and you want it badly. And it sounds like, the timing couldn't be better for you to pursue something like this. I'm wondering, have you ever considered how I could help you if you were to hire me as your coach? Or you could say something like this, are you open to finding out how you might get some help around this? Or are you thinking that you might need some help moving forward with this? Is that something you're open to taking a closer look at if you knew of someone that could help you? I'm actually a coach who works with people just like you, and based on what you're telling me with your need and your timing, I can't help but ask if you'd ever consider taking a closer look at how I could help you if you were to hire me as your coach. Is that something you'd be open to? Of course, if it's not, that's okay. I just can't help but ask because, what I'm hearing you say. This is that approach that we've got to find this stuff out if they're at least open to considering or if they're open to taking a closer look, right? That's that third vital element. Because what that does is if they are open or if they are considering hiring us or they are interested, at that point we can say, hey, listen, I'd like to offer you a complimentary coaching session. And this will give us an opportunity to not only begin to work together and begin to move you forward, but it's going to give you a real good feel of how I could help you if you were to hire me. And it's going to give you a feel of what we can do if you were to move forward. And at that point, if you feel like this is great, and you feel like at the end of that call, you're like, oh my God, there's so much value. I've got to hire this person. At that point, we can go over the details, take care of the payment, get in your schedule. How does that sound? And if at that point, they're like, oh my God, this sounds awesome, book them for the call. Book them for the call. Now you've taken the time to figure it out, the three vital elements: need, timing, and are they open to, or are they considering hiring you as your coach? And you've set the framework and the expectation for you and for that potential client of what's going to happen with this complimentary session and what's going to happen with the end. That's gold. That's gold. Do you see the difference in this thoroughness versus just handing it out like business cards or whatever it is? Like, you're not going to get anywhere that way, or you're going to have a lot more frustration. And on the back end, going back to my examples of giving 20 complimentary sessions, getting 2 clients out of it versus giving 2 complimentary sessions and getting 2 clients out of it. The other version of doing the 20, only getting 2, is you're going to wind up at the other end with the same results, getting 2 paying clients, but feel beat up and exhausted and very unsuccessful and feel like nothing's working. Versus the other end, you're going to be like, man, this is awesome. Let me just take a little bit more time to set these expectations up and find out what these people are really looking for and how serious are they about going after it, why now, and are they considering hiring me? Hopefully this has been helpful for you. This is vital for your long-term continued success. This is what I do with my mentor coaching clients when they hire me, is not only go through this process, but I go through it specifically with them. I help them with their specific approaches on how they can approach people. And then I help them with those, like I call those sales conversations, so I can help them understand how to have that back and forth, which helps them qualify, ultimately help them with that complimentary session, and then help them actually close the client and get that business. So if you're in a position where that would be valuable for you and helping you specifically with this stuff, if you're frustrated in this area, consider working with me as your mentor coach. If that's something you're open to taking a closer look at, how I can help you if you were to hire me, go to sellingcoaching.com under the Work With Me page. Fill out the form at the bottom of the page, and I will get back to you. I will call you, we'll create a relaxed conversation, and we can figure out where we can go from there.